Going into a new year can be really exciting, but then you have that moment of like, what does that actually mean to level up this year and create the results in my business that I didn't get this last year? And it comes down to having a proven game plan. So I'm actually going to unveil and walk you through what I'm implementing in my own business and I have for years and years. And we've had over 10,000 students use this proven system. I also want to mention below this video, you're going to see a spot to register for our Content Boss Bootcamp. If you're somebody who wants to learn and master the art of selling through your content, you've got to get your spot for this bootcamp. 9 days of high-level coaching from me. And when you register, you can access the replays during the 9 days. So look below this video. Let's dive in. So I have a system that I follow every year to set myself up for success. And I wanted to take a little bit of time out of my Monday afternoon to teach it to you. So if you're here right now, welcome to this live training so we can really get you rocking and rolling and start to get that clarity that you need for your plan for next year. So I want to welcome you on, say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, city, state, province, country. As I mentioned, we're on multiple platforms right now. So I'm just going to kind of pop around and take a look and see how everyone's doing today. If you guys weren't following my stories, I've been in Nashville for the last 4 days. We just got back last night and I was able to go to bring my family there and went to the annual International Association of Top Professionals Awards banquet. It was a beautiful gala they put on there at the Gaylord in Nashville, which is cool because we did our conference there a couple of years ago. And I was able to receive an award for Most Empowered Member of the Year, which is a huge honor. And I just cannot say enough good things about them. So definitely follow Stephanie on social media. And it was really neat to be a part of it. So I'd love to know if you guys have been to Nashville, let me know in the comments. Did you see my stories and all the things that we were posting? So I want to share with you guys a process that I go through to plan out the year ahead. And if you know anything about successful people, they are planners. Even if you're someone who feels as if the schedule or the planning will constrict your creative ability, that is not true. That is a myth. That is not supporting you. Because if you were setting yourself up for success, you would have what you would want. You would have what you want right now, right? There are things that need to change with the way that you're operating, the way that you're showing up. And I'm going to start with this. I'm going to end with this. And this is the truth. There are certain things that you need to change in who you are and how you see yourself to create a different reality next year. The first step is that you need to see yourself as a boss. You need to see yourself as somebody who makes things happen. You need to see yourself as somebody who sets a goal for herself and she accomplishes it. I am someone who I have rebuilt my self-identity because I was not always this way. I was 7 years ago, I was 7.5 years now, was somebody who was very broken. So if you're someone who is broken or in debt or struggling with addiction or just don't feel confident in yourself. I know a lot of you struggle with speaking up and being seen. And a lot of that can be, there can be generational wounds that you actually don't even realize that you're really not showing up. So there are some things right now that you need to change in how you're operating your business, how you're showing up, how you're seeing yourself in this world. And when you stop to ask yourself, what are those things? You can change them. If you keep on keeping on, you're going to get the same exact result a year from now that you have received this year so far. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. We all know that, right? So put me in the comments if you're someone who's committed to changing. You are committed to becoming the person that you need to become to get what you want this next year. This means massive change. I was just listening to a training this morning and by Gary Vee. If you don't follow him, he's a social media freaking legend guru. I've read all his books. I study him. And he said, anything great in this world is hard work. So if you're like, gosh, oh my gosh, she wants me to post on social media every day. Sure do. Oh my gosh, she wants me to have a lead magnet, a landing page. I don't understand tech. Too bad. Like I'm saying this to you with love because I know some of you need to hear that you are getting in your own way and you're making up excuses that are not serving you. So in order for you, all of you that just put me, if you truly mean that, then that means you got to roll up your sleeves and get to work. Creating a different reality next year is going to be harder than it was this year. Now, does it mean that it won't be worth it? No. Does it mean that you won't grow in the process and be so grateful for that growth? No. Does it mean that you won't? Does it mean that you will not regret it? Like, will there be regret that you worked hard and you created something amazing? No, there won't be regret. You're going to be so proud of yourself. So you have to absolutely embrace this process of change, this process of leveling up. And I know for some of you, you see me in our brand that we built, and you're like, wow, she's so amazing. You know, she's got this brand and all this money, and she's just done all these things, right? I know, I get it. I hear it from people. You know what? I'm right now committing to leveling up. Actually, I've been working on it really, really deeply for weeks and weeks and weeks, if not months. I'm committing to leveling up and going to another level as how I'm showing up in this world and being a leader in this industry and showing people that they can get out there and shine their light bright and they don't have to hold back. That means I have to grow. So this is for all of us. Okay. You don't just arrive and you're like, okay, my work here is done, right? This is a process. This is an evolution. So in order for you to really make next year amazing, you absolutely have to understand that there's going to be deep work involved with that. And I am here to tell you it is absolutely worth all of it. And there's nothing that's going to make you feel more proud than knowing that you're truly showing up how God intended you to show up in this world. Okay. So I hope that got you excited about this training that we're going to get into. Okay. Now I will tell you guys, I'm going to give you a proven game plan. This is the process I go through. And I'm not, obviously for time's sake, I'm not going to elaborate on all of this. I'm not going to tell you the specific how, because I know some of you are going to be thinking, but how? What does she mean? If you want the how, if you want me to walk you through step by step of how to actually execute this game plan, then you'll see our team drop the link for the 3-day strategic planning intensive. If you're on TikTok, you can click the link in my bio. Same with LinkedIn. If you're on Instagram, it's also there, the link in bio. So just check the link there, or you can DM the team, reach out to me on social media. Our team is available to jump in and help you out. In our 3-day strategic planning intensive, it starts tomorrow. It's 3 full days with me and the team, and we're working the whole 3 days. Okay. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't have time, then this conversation, you might not be ready for this conversation. This conversation is for those that are going to make the time. This conversation is for those that realize they have to spend the time to work on their business and not just be in reaction mode all the time, like floundering around trying to figure it out. Okay. So if you are already registered for the 3-day, it looks like some of you on here are, drop some fire in the comments. Let me know how excited you are, because we've been working extremely hard behind the scenes to set you up in this 3 days where we can map out all of next year, that's what I'm all about. Lights me up. Okay. 9 to 3 Central each day. Yep. On Zoom. All the information is in your back office if you've already registered for it, or if you're in our paid group coaching programs as well. I know, it's so exciting. Okay, here we go. So to prep for the 2020 for your 2025, this is the proven game plan that I have for you. Okay. And like I said, it's going to take work. It's going to take planning. It's going to take dialing it down so you know exactly what to do. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you reflect and review on what's working and what's not working. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at this past year and you're going to ask yourself where you did get results, what strategies brought those results. So whenever people are in our group coaching programs and they'll ask me, Kimberly, I'm really struggling with, sales or getting leads. I'm like, okay, the leads that you have gotten so far, the sales that you have gotten so far, where did those come from? And they'll say, oh, well, I was doing an interview and somebody saw my interview and they reached out. I'm like, okay, then let's go do more interviews. You already have some clues, you guys, of where the success has come from that you already have. But for some reason, we just kind of forget about it. It's this bizarre thing, right? And we think that we don't have any skills to bring to the table when you absolutely do. So what strategies brought the results that you already have? And then what took up time for you that didn't deliver an ROI? What took up time this last year that did not deliver an ROI? So I always get kickback or pushback from people when I say you need to hire a VA, have someone set up your tech, your back end, your landing pages, all that stuff, if it's taking you forever. And they're like, I can't afford it. I'm like, okay, so a year ago, you told me you couldn't afford it and you still don't have a landing page a year later. Like when are we going to get this done? Okay. So what I mean is if something's taking you a lot of time and you just cannot figure it out, or it's very time consuming for you. So for me, I can make a reel in 2.5 seconds. Like I literally can be walking to the mailbox and I can make a reel. Like I could do it in my sleep. Okay. Most people, that's not the case. And they will spend 5 days making one 10-second video. That doesn't make sense for you to spend 5 days to make a 10-second video because time is money. Even if you don't have the money coming in yet, what is your time worth? And then you can obviously figure that out. Okay. The second thing you want to do is you want to clarify key focus areas. So what this means is you're going to want to simplify your priorities into 3 to 5 core areas. So this might be business growth, personal development, health. Like what are the kind of areas or buckets of your life? It might be, your faith. It could be your financial. Okay. So what are those key focus areas for yourself? And then we do this as a company every quarter. We learned this from Scaling Up. It's a book that you can get if you are building a team. And I would say once you get into multi six figures and up to read that book. So we have as a team have gone through this every quarter, and we call it Start, Stop, Keep. So Start, Stop, Keep is where you sit down and you look at your key focus areas. So maybe it's your health, maybe it's your personal development, your business growth, your DMO, your daily activity. You're going to look at the different areas of your life, and you're going to ask yourself, what do I want to start doing? Okay. What do I want to start doing is the first thing you're going to want to ask. So for you, a lot of you have a lot of ideas, but pick what do you want to start doing, right? Like, and we'll do goal setting tomorrow. We're going to reverse engineer your goals tomorrow morning, actually. So those that are doing the 3-day, I got you. But we're going to be thinking about what do we want to start doing? Okay. We're also going to ask ourselves, what do we want to stop doing? So what do you want to let go of? Let's say you have been posting on the Threads app every day for a year and you've gotten nothing from it. You've gotten 0 followers, no comments, nothing is coming from it. It's just not working or clicking. But on Facebook, you do get traction on Facebook. You do get interaction and you've gotten some sales from Facebook. You might say, you know what? I'm going to let go of Threads for now because it's just not converting. I'm going to double down my efforts on Facebook so I can get to a point where maybe you can hire a VA to handle your Threads account. You guys see how this works? So start, stop, and keep. Keep is whatever you want to maintain. You want to keep doing what is working. This is a great activity because every quarter we do this, but even if you guys just did it right now, imagine what could happen if you gave yourself permission to let some things go that just are not serving you, they're not filling your cup up, they're energy draining, or they're just not getting you the ROI. You can start doing some new things that you'd be really excited about, and then obviously identify what is working and maintain that. Have any of you here, maybe you were working at the gym every day, something like that, or eating healthy, maybe you're meal prepping, and then one day you're like, why did I stop? Like you literally can't remember when you stopped. You can't remember why you stopped and you're kicking yourself going, why did I stop? It's kind of the same thing. Sometimes we'll have things that are working for us and we'll just stop doing it and then wonder why we stopped. So if you can intentionally assess and do the start, stop, keep every quarter, or at least once a year, game changer. Okay. So again, we're going to cover that in the 3-day strategic planning intensive tomorrow. Next, break it down. So we're going to want those monthly milestones. And for you, we're going to look at the whole year. What do we want to accomplish over the whole year? This might be our revenue goals, or it could be, I want this many new clients, or my social media growth. You're going to have your big picture goals, your BHAG goals, if you will. If any of you watched my live I did recently on big, hairy, audacious goals. Okay. You've got your BHAG goals. That's great. And what I've noticed is that people will set their goals and then they will forget about them. So I can't remember if it was January like 11th or 12th, something like that. But there's a CBS, We Are Austin here. It's a CBS, CBS channel for Austin. They had me come on because it was called like the New Year's resolution, like Quitter's Day. It was like the most people quit their New Year's resolution by January 12th, whatever day it was. They had me come on. I came on to for the TV episode to talk about goal setting and how you could set goals that you could keep. So it's really common for people to set that goal, and then a couple weeks into January, they don't even remember what the goal was. They've already given up on it. We don't want to do that because you guys are goal diggers and you are different. You are not the masses. So with goal setting, we want to break it down to monthly milestones because we don't want it to be a year from now that we're assessing. And we also aren't going to necessarily see traction on a day-to-day basis. Monthly, it gives us those checkpoints. It gives us that opportunity to say, is this working? Am I making progress? How am I doing? Whoa. I have to interrupt this episode to tell you something so exciting that I've been working on behind the scenes to set you up for success this year. And that is the ultimate content Trello board collection. So inside of this collection, I've created 3 brand new Trello boards. You're going to get the mega social media planner, so you can plan all of your social media content in one place. You're also going to get the board that's full of content ideas that monetize all kinds of different niches and industries. And finally, you're going to get the social media content bank. When you go to create content, you need a place to draw from to pull that content out so you can quickly create and keep on moving. So look below this video for this gift for you so you can totally crush it this year. So the third thing you want to do is you want to break it down and you want to develop your monthly milestones to assess your progress, shift, pivot, adjust the sales accordingly, and then continue on your journey. Okay. Let me know if this is making sense for you. One was reflect and review what's working and what isn't working. So put a 1 in the comments if that's something that you need to work on. As you find yourself not even pausing, how many of you are just going from one thing to the next to the next? I get it. We're in the midst of the holidays. So put a 1 if that's you. A 2 was you needed to get clarify key focus areas and identify the stop, start, key. So put a 2 in the comments if that's landing for you, where you're like, gosh, I don't do that. I don't decide what I want to keep doing. I don't figure out what I need to stop doing. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to start doing? Let me know about 2 if that was really landing for you. What about 3? How many of you like the idea of breaking down your whole yearly goal down to monthly milestones? Put a 3 in the comments if that was like, yeah, like you really like that one. Let me know for you guys how that felt. Okay. Put a 3 in the comments. 4 is plug it into a system. And I swear by this, we are only as good as our systems. And it's like the lowest denominator. Okay. So have you ever heard, what is it? It's kind of negative, but the saying around like the weakest link in the pack is like basically what the whole pack would be or something like that. It's kind of a negative spin on it, right? Think of it, apply that to your business. When you have systems in place, you're only as good as the systems that you have, because otherwise you can't maintain it. So let's say you go live on your wall and you're like, yeah, I'm doing it, Kimberly, I'm going live. And then, 3 weeks later, you miss one of the week because you weren't really thinking about it. And the week got away from you. And then you skipped going live. And before you know it, you're just like, oh my gosh, I stopped going live. That's because you didn't have a system in place. So we have systems for everything here at Goal Digger. Even today in our meeting, Tori's like, okay, we need a SOP for that, standard operating procedure. We need to capture that. So you need a system. And this is something that the system's almost like a cuss word around here as entrepreneurs, is it not? Yeah, we're only strong as the weakest link. It's so funny to us. We don't like systems because systems mean structure, and structure means confinement or something, right? Like I never liked working in corporate because I just did not ever agree with anybody. I'm like, why would they do it this way? They should go do this, right? And of course, authority didn't like that, and it wasn't always amazing. So we don't like systems necessarily inherently. And what we want to remember is that our systems will allow us to automate areas of our business that we can automate, to free up our time and our energy to focus on the areas of the business we cannot automate. And that's where our zone of genius is. So typically for you, your zone of genius is going to be building your brand. It's going to be content for your brand and to connect with your ideal avatar. It's going to be having conversations with your leads, with your people, and closing those sales. You can't automate that necessarily, right? So the parts of your business where you can't automate it, we need you there. That's where we need your energy. And what I find is some of you are over here working on systems all day long that you're not getting over to the non-automated areas of your business. So you have to have the systems to free you up to spend time in your business where you're actually going to get the most leverage on the front end. So put a 4 in the comments if you feel as though you don't have systems in place. That's a struggle for you and you find yourself really exhausted every day working on your business. You're manually doing everything. You're just like, I know there's a better way here, but I just cannot seem to get it together. For our 3-day strategic planning intensive, all of day 2 is going to be automation and organization. I know it's your love language. You're welcome. And in this 3-day strategic planning intensive, our team will drop the link or click the link in bio if you're on the other platforms. This 3-day strategic planning intensive, we are actually going to have breakout rooms and you're going to be working with me in the 3 days. So we'll actually be working on the automation and the tech piece and all of that. Yeah. Very important. Get those systems in place. 5 is to build in accountability and support. And what we find also with entrepreneurs is because we're not working for someone else and we don't have a boss, it's very easy to not do the thing. And character is really developed when you do something you said you were going to do long before the excitement, has gone away. I think it's Abraham Lincoln quote. It's who you really are. And I know for some of you, you really got to work on this. You keep saying you want to do certain things. I can't even tell you how many times people tell me, I need to get ahead of my content. And then the next time they're on a call or whatever, they're like, yeah, I really need to get on my content. I'm like, and when are you going to get on your content? Okay. So there are things that you need to strengthen in your character. And one of those things is to do the thing you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it. And this is going to be the difference for many of you here watching this. Those that are successful this coming year are going to be successful because they're putting all this in place. And it will be another difficult year in the marketplace. Okay. I suspect by the end of this year of 2025, we will start to see a nice turn. And I believe the year after we'll start to get back to a new norm. It's going to continue to be difficult this next year, I believe. And I believe those that plan ahead, I believe those that get organized, get systems in place, but really, really embrace what I teach with the Brand Connect method, which is your brand clarity. It's targeted messaging through your content and then learning how to close sales in the DMs. Those that really understand branding and building relationships with their audience and getting their content to work for them, those are the ones that are going to be successful this coming year. It's not going to be by luck. It's going to be by planning. It's going to be by organization, systems, and having accountability. And the reason why the accountability is so important, put 5 in the comments if you definitely need accountability and support, is because when we're left on our own, it's very easy to get off track. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. I hear that word a lot amongst our community before they start working with us and we help them. And it's very easy to get down on yourself. And it's part of human nature. And it's also part of entrepreneurship. There are extreme ups and downs. And I'm just not in oh no, the world is, bad next year, but 2025 is also going to be similar to this year in those regards. So if you felt like you got off track this last year, if you felt as if you did the stop go this last year, kind of lost your way a little bit, you're not alone. And this is where accountability and support come into play. You guys want to know why I can't get away with anything as far as doubting myself and sitting there and just being like, I can't do this, because I have a full team that works with me that I'm accountable to. Okay. So today, if I was like, I'm just meetings and I'm not going live today. I'm just not feeling it. I have a whole team that would be like, WTF, yes, you are, because we need this and this and this completed for the 3-day strategic planning intensive tomorrow, right? So I have that accountability built in by my role, right? What about you? What's your accountability? How are you going to make sure that you stay on track this next year? How are you going to make sure that you have that support and systems and the guidance and mentorship to not go it alone? Those that go it alone, it can be very, very difficult. So I'm going to encourage you to plug in, whether it's my community or with someone else's that is just as amazing as me, that you get yourself into a community with like-minded people. Because if you're with those that are like-minded, when you have those ups and downs, you're going to have people to celebrate when you're up, and you're going to have people to pull you back up when you're down. If you don't have that, I suspect we'll be seeing some not continue with their dreams this coming year, and that's not going to be on my watch. So if you're in my community and you're plugged into my programs, we will keep you on track, and that is my promise to you. Okay, so put a 5 if you really need that accountability, that support, and all of that, which is really important. And 6, you want to leave room for flexibility and creativity. And what I mean by that is you want to, and I'm actually writing another book right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the title on it. Basically, I'm just going to say the title, and if I get in trouble, whatever, because it might be working with the publisher. And I'll be working with the publisher. It's called Your First Thought. And I think I did mention this last week, so maybe I can get away with it again. Your first thought. So your first thought is typically that instinctive, it's that gut instinct, it's that little zip of excitement. It's that kind of, yeah, right? It feels good, your first thought when you get an idea. So if you have a thought that pops into your mind that is different than your plan, so you put your plan in place for this next year, and let's say you really want to focus on Facebook Lives and you want to do live video, and that's your plan. And 3 months in, you get this little exciting idea that you want to start a podcast or you want to start writing a blog, and you just feel it, right? And it feels really good. That's your first thought. That's that God-given, like inspired idea. Okay. Second thoughts, third thoughts, fourth thoughts where the doubt creeps in, or maybe I shouldn't do that. Those are not divine thoughts. Those are not supporting you. Do not listen to those thoughts. It's okay to pivot this next year partway through, but you don't want to go over here and stop, go, and you're doing this. And you watch my training right now or listen to it if it ends up being a podcast down the road. And then an hour later, you're listening to someone else who's telling you, just go build an email list. That's all you should do. Social media sucks. And you're like, I need an email list. Social media sucks. Like, you're never going to get anywhere if you do that. You still need a plan. You need your overarching goal for next year. You need to know which way you're going. And I'm going to give you permission to leave some room for flexibility and creativity, because ask my team. We have our whole plan for next year. We know what we're doing down to the dates and times, and they already know that I will get an idea for something that I'm like, we have to do this. And because I have a great team, they're like, okay, let's make it happen. I have to have that creativity. I have to have that flexibility, or I will feel restrained. And that doesn't work for entrepreneurs. We like to have that room for ideas, creativity, and all the things. Okay. So put a 6 in the comments if you're going to give yourself permission to leave some room for flexibility and creativity, but you're also going to honor those first thoughts, that first thought that pops in your mind when you have an idea, to know, yes, this is divine. This is good. This is creative. This feels like it's aligned with my soul and my purpose and my passion. I am ready. I'm going to do this. And you're not going to worry about those secondary thoughts. Okay. And you're also going to ask yourself, does this support my long-term goal? It's always a great grounding question. Does this still move me towards my North Star? Is this really getting me closer to my goal? Because you want to know your overarching goal. And if you can honestly say, yes, it is, then I would say go for it. Okay. You can pivot along the way and give yourself that flexibility and creativity as well. Okay. So for our 3-day strategic planning intensive, we'll drop the link there for you guys. This is the agenda. Day 1 is mapping out your content plan. So tomorrow, it's going to be the whole thing. We're going to reverse engineer your goals. We're going to figure out your personal branding buckets, or solidify them. I'll have you guys run them by me and I'll say, yes, those look good. We'll also get into all of your content creation. I'm going to teach you how to plan out all of your content and write 365 days worth of content. Put heck yes in the comments if that lights you up. I'm going to show you how to write 365 days worth of content. Tomorrow, you'll have all of your content written. Okay. So any assets that need to go with it, any photos, we can actually generate some images through ChatGPT. I'll show you how to do that. But maybe you want a photo of yourself or an image, right? A selfie, picture of your kids, whatever. You can add that later on, obviously, because you'll create that as you go along. But the content will be written. Whoop, whoop. We're very excited about that. That'll be done tomorrow. And then we'll do all kinds of stuff with content. Day 2 is organized and automated. So we're going to have your lead magnet done. We're going to have your landing pages done, your back end done, a couple of emails crafted for those. And we have breakout sessions where we'll work on this as well, answer questions, that kind of thing. So imagine having all your tech stuff connected where you can send an email if you want to, right? You can promote a lead magnet out on social media. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to tell you if your lead magnets are good or not, or if you have to fix them. And then day 3, an unstoppable money mindset. We'll talk about money. We'll talk about, anything holding you back. We're going to talk about posturing up. We're going to talk about selling strategies that convert. We're going to talk about DM mastery, sales success, handling objections, and breaking through self-sabotage and smashing blocks. All of it's recorded. Okay. So if you can't make it live, I recommend going live or being on the lives if you can. Okay. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that we have a LinkedIn newsletter that is brand new. So our team will drop the link. If you're on LinkedIn, you can see it in my bio. It says sign up for newsletter or something like that. So you can see the LinkedIn newsletter. We have that for you. And then we also have a Goal Digger newsletter. The one that just went out had 60 plus ways to repurpose your content and a tracker to streamline your workflow. What I mean is we have exclusive things in these newsletters that you cannot get anywhere else. The LinkedIn newsletter is more of my like kind of thought leadership as a leader in this industry. So it might be trends. It might be what I recommend you double down on for your personal brand, for your content. And then our Goal Digger newsletter is sort of a recap of everything that we've just dropped, but we do exclusive releases in our newsletter. So make sure you guys are registered for that. And the final thing is, I didn't get it to work today, but I'll figure it out. On Facebook, they have it now. And then I'm also going to do it on Instagram, is a private channel for some of our subscribers. It's free. But if you would like to get on a private channel where I'll come in periodically, I'll give you a little encouragement. I might give you a little hack, a little tip. That's going to be for our community. So just drop Facebook in the comments if you want to get on the Facebook channel. Okay, just put Facebook in the comments. That'll be through my personal profile. We'll set that up. It'll be a free channel. If you put Facebook in the comments, I will get you the link for it when it's set up. If you want to be on our private channel on Instagram, and obviously it'll be a little bit more specific to Instagram over there, just put Insta or IG or Instagram in the comments and we'll get you the link for that. I'm also setting that up right now. Or you can drop both words. You can put Facebook and then drop Insta or Instagram and I'll know. We'll get back to you once those are set up and we'll tag you guys on the links. Those are free, like I said, but I'll come in there periodically and it'll just be like a really cool experience if you are like, man, I want to like hear what she's thinking about right now or what she's recommending that you do with your business. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be putting that together for you guys. Okay. So whichever you prefer, put that in the comments below. And that's what we have for you today. So if this was helpful, if you're on Instagram, you can share this out, LinkedIn, TikTok, wherever we are, share it out. If you're on Facebook, we're actually in our private Facebook group of 35,000 boss babes, goal digging boss babes. So if you're on Facebook, take a screenshot, throw it in your stories and tag me at the Goal Digger Girl, wherever you are, and just say, hey, watched a really great training on setting up 2025. If you want the link, DM me, or you can include the link for this if you know how to do that, right? Tag me. I would love to give you a shout out for that. And most importantly, get yourself to the 3-day strategic planning intensive. Okay. Imagine what could happen if you could get my guidance for your business and really setting it up for 3 full days. I only do this once a year, 3 full days that we take out of our schedule for you guys. Okay. So get yourself into the 3-day strategic planning intensive, make it happen. We obviously have, it's $497, or you can do a 3-pay, I think of $197. And then we have a 6-pay now of $115 a month because I didn't want it to be any reason somebody couldn't get into it. So it's very reasonable. Okay. As you can see, the proven game plan that I just shared with you is the key for your success to make this year the best year yet. If this was helpful, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. Look below the video to register for the Content Boss Bootcamp. If you haven't yet, I want to see you there. It kicks off on the 13th. And most importantly, subscribe, share this video, throw it in your stories, and tag me at the Goal Digger Girl if this was helpful, and I will give you a shout out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. We'll see you soon.